Welcome to Math with Mr. J. In this video, I'm going to cover how to subtract a fraction from a mixed number. Let's jump into our example where we have 4 and 9/10 minus 3/4. Now the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to line this problem up vertically, so up and down. I'll come over to the side and we start with 4 and 9/10 and we subtract 3/4. So you can see that I have my fractions lined up and then the whole number to the left. Once we're lined up, we can subtract the fractions. So 9/10 minus 3/4. But we can't subtract quite yet. We need a common denominator in order to subtract fractions. So our least common denominator is going to be the least common multiple between 10 and 4. You may be able to think what that least common multiple is without writing out the lists of multiples. But as a refresher, I'm going to come to the side here and write some multiples of 10 and 4 in order to find that least common multiple, which again is going to be our least common denominator. Multiples go on forever, so what we can do, my suggestion, would be to write 4 or 5 multiples of each, see if we have any in common. If not, we can always extend our lists. So let's start with 10, and we'll write 4 multiples. So 10, 20, 30, 40. Then we'll do 4. So 4, 8, 12, 16. You can see that we do not have any in common yet. Now for our multiples of 10, we're already at 40. And for 4, we're only at 16. So let's extend our list for 4. After 16, we have 20. And now we have a least common multiple. Therefore, our least common denominator. So once we have that, we need to rename our fractions with that least common denominator. Let's start by renaming 9/10. So this is going to equal 4 and how many 20ths? So just transfer the whole number over. We're not doing anything to the whole number. We only need to rename the fractional part. So we need to use equivalent fractions here. And think, how do we get 10 to equal 20? Well, 10 times 2 is 20. Now, whatever we do to the bottom, we must do to the top in order to keep this equivalent. 9 times 2 is 18. So 18/20ths is equivalent to 9/10. We're not changing the value of the problem at all. Again, we're just renaming with that common denominator of 20. Now we can rename 3/4. So that's going to equal how many 20ths? We can put our equal sign there and then bring over our subtraction sign. So let's use equivalent fractions here. How do we get 4 to equal 20? Well, 4 times 5 gives us 20. Whatever we do to the bottom, we must do to the top in order to keep this equivalent. 3 times 5 gives us 15. Now that we renamed with that common denominator of 20, we can subtract those fractions. So we have 18/20ths minus 15/20ths. 18 minus 15 gives us 3. Keep our denominator of 20 the same. Once we subtract the fractions, we can take a look at the whole number. So we have 4 minus, and then there isn't anything under that 4. So basically, we just drop the 4 down because that's like 4 minus 0. There's nothing there, which just gives us 4. So we get 4 and 3/20ths. You can always look to see if you can simplify the fractional part of a mixed number. 3/20ths is in simplest form. The only common factor between 3 and 20 is 1. So this is simplified. And our final answer, 4 and 3/20ths. So there you have it. There's how to subtract a fraction from a mixed number. I hope that helped. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, peace.